Hey guys, welcome to the Cut Invitational. I'm Michael Pramawat at TTC Pram, and with me is Ben Potter.
Hey guys, Ben Potter here with Pram. We have Cut Invitational 2013 just about to begin. 8 of the world's best players. As you might have seen in the chat already, we don't have Harrison Levin participating this year like we thought, but we will have current world champion Jason Klasinski, who just took home his 3rd world championship today. Let's talk about that a little bit, Pram.
Pretty good, pretty much a living legend at this point.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly, there's no question, Jason Klasinski, best player of all time, a legend in all respects.
Mm-hmm. So our first match is going to be Sami Sekkoum versus Tsuguyoshi Yamato.
Yeah, former Cut Invitational winner Yamato. He's here today. He's going to look to defend his title against Sami Sekkoum. Sammy didn't have a good showing last year. He lost after 2 rounds and was eliminated, but Yamato certainly had a good one and won.
Yeah, we had a pretty cool story last year. We had Good Guy Cohen.
Yeah, Good Guy Cohen, who unfortunately is not here with us this year, but he's a great player, and I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, so Sammy's probably going to be running Darkrai. Him and Jason worked pretty hard on the list together. They played the same deck.
Yeah.
And Yamato, along with a lot of the other Japanese players at Worlds, most likely will be running Darkrai Garbodor. A very interesting take on a kind of known deck in the U.S.
Yeah. It popped up a lot in the Japanese decks. I think Takuya Yoneda himself, he grinded in the Worlds and made it all the way to top 8 with Darkrai Garbodor. We didn't see it that much at Nationals, but Jason Klasinski himself played Darkrai Garbodor, and it's something we considered, me and you considered playing ourselves.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good deck, and it's definitely got some great options.
Yeah, Darkrai Garbodor had a really good run at Worlds this year. Dustin Zimmerman, he was running Darkrai Garbodor in top 4, got all the way to top 4, and he was ultimately taken out by Jason Klasinski in this.
Who can blame him, you know?
Yeah. As along with everyone else. So yeah, so we have some pairings for here. We have Sammy versus Yamato in one pod, and then we have Igor Costa versus Ryan Saberhaus.
Yep, also in the water pod.
Yep. So we have 2 pods this year, like always, but we named them Water and Fire. So there we go. In the water pod, we have Sammy, Yamato, Igor, and Ryan. In our Fire pod, we have Josh, Jwittz, Wittenkeller, Jay Horniman, Jason Klasinski, and Edmund Kuris.
Yep, and Jwittz is going to be taking on Jay Horniman, and Jason Klasinski is going to be playing Edmund Kuris. National champion playing the world champion. That's certainly going to be a good one.
Oh, definitely. I'm not really sure what Edmund's going to be playing. I'm sure Jason's going to continue riding on his Darkrai path.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you run so well at Worlds, and then why change?
Yeah, and certainly he knows how important this tournament is, possibly more important than his world championship.
Yeah, actually, little trivia. He had, before this Worlds, he had 3 champions on display, 3 trophies on display. It was his 2 world championship trophies and the Cut Invitational trophy from 2 years ago. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and here's the list of players in each pod. We have in our Fire pod is on the left, and the Water pod is on the right. Yeah, so there it is in all its glory. So the players are getting ready, shuffling up. We're going to be starting soon. So as we do that, why don't we talk about a little bit about how Sammy, Igor, Ryan, all they did at Worlds.
Yeah, Sammy had a pretty decent showing at Worlds. He made top cut. Yamato just missed it from the grinder. I think he made it to round 4 or round 2.
Yeah,
Not sure, but,
I think it was round 4, and it was pretty heartbreaking for him.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing Worlds here without Yamato playing. Usually makes it in through the grinder.
Yep.
Igor didn't have the best showing at Worlds this year, and how did Ryan do?
Ryan, actually a lot of these players didn't do so hot at Worlds.
Who's your favorite out of this water pod to advance?
Let's see. Well, first off, we have Sammy versus Yamato. I think if Sammy sticks with Darkrai and Yamato sticks with his Darkrai Garbodor, Sammy has a pretty good shot at winning. I think that's a favorite for just straight Darkrai.
Fantastic.
Igor,
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure what he's going to run.
Yeah, Igor's a big question mark here, but the guy certainly knows his stuff.
Do you know what Ryan ran?
No, I do not.
I think he's running Plasma, but
I mean, he's had the most success with it.
yeah, definitely with.
Gotta stay tried and true.
He got second at U.S. Nationals with Plasma Life Dew. Very Life Dew was a very cool tech. It prevented in Plasma Mirror. It prevented a lot of Kyurem knockouts.
Yeah, definitely.
Just getting that extra prize up.
Yep.
Basically made them take 7, 8 prizes. So
out of this pod, I know he seems underfavored here in the first round, but I'm going with my boy Yamato.
All right, so there we go. I got Sammy, you got Yamato. Cool. So for the next match, for the other match, we have Igor and Ryan.
Okay,
but here's a look of the sponsors. Thank you to High Tide Games and Legacy Cards.
Yeah, and the amazing graphic provided by V Graphics. They got great graphics for us here this year, and please check out all of these on Facebook. Give them a like. High Tide Games is located in California, Maryland. V Graphics is a great graphics company that they really worked with us to get this done. And do you know anything about Legacy Cards?
They provided great prize support for us. This is a community-driven event.
Yeah, definitely.
So definitely thank you to both these sponsors for providing great prizes for the players and, really supporting the community on this one.
Yeah.
And, But back to the matchups. We got Igor versus Ryan.
Right.
We don't really know what they're playing, so let's just pick the player. Who do you want?
I want Igor to win, man.
Funny, me too.
Igor Acosta?
I like Ryan, don't get me wrong. I like Ryan Sabalos,
Ryan's a
but
great guy.
I guess I like Igor more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the first game is about to start. We're
All
going
right.
to show Sammy versus Yamato here in the water pod.
All right, so here we go. So they're shuffling up, and Yamato will having some pretty cool sleeves. It's kind of like a Willy Wonka Pikachu.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. So we see Yamato playing on a really cool playmat. That was also part of the prize pool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, someone, a member of our community, went ahead, drew all that by hand, and printed out a bunch of playmats for that. Donated one for the Top Cut Invitational, and we thought it was so cool. We thought we'd put it on display.
Yeah, we saw. It was really cool. I got to see. He posted updates as he got further and further along in his design process, and it's really a lot of effort he put into it, and it looks really great.
Yeah, you can see the Sableye. It's holding a hypnotoxic laser.
Yeah,
and a catcher on its waist.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Absol even has a
Dark Claw.
A Dark Claw.
Yep.
Speaking of Absols, how'd you like the Mega Evolution of Absol?
Oh, I thought it was okay. Not my favorite.
Oh yeah, which one was?
Kangaskhan.
Kangaskhan. Oh yeah.
Kangaskhan's been needing a boost since Gen 1, and I can't believe he hasn't gotten one until now.
That's true. I thought it was really cool when the child Kangaskhan popped out of the pouch and he started doing damage with his parent.
Fights 2 now.
Double hits.
Okay, Yamato, I've been seeing here playing in the free play area, and yesterday playing against people all day long. So, sure, he didn't get to play in Worlds, but he is not out of practice. He's just as ready as anybody for this tournament.
Interesting. We see Sammy shuffling up, and I kind of saw a peek of Plasma Energy and Prism and Thunderous. So
in Yamato's deck?
No, in Sammy's.
Oh, in Sammy's deck?
Yeah, so Sammy switching it up on us. He's ended up playing Plasma. What do you think about this?
Plasma's definitely a good deck. It can stand up to anything with its speed and power. Only thing you got to look out for is those missing energy drops and the Enhanced Hammer, maybe by Jason Klaczynski himself. He's probably running the same Darkrai decks. Hopefully Sammy doesn't run into that matchup.
Yeah, maybe Jason was like, I need both Darkrai decks so I can play 2 matches at once.
Yeah.
And Sammy was like, oh, all right, I'll just go play Plasma. But, yeah, this should be a fun matchup. If Yamato sticks with his guns and sticks with Darkrai Garbodor, it should be a very close matchup if Sammy plays this correctly.
Definitely, for sure. Dark Art Arbor are certainly very powerful. Shut off Deoxy's ability, so none of Sammy's Pokemon are going to do extra damage.
Yeah, I also got a peek at Sammy's deck with he actually plays DCE too. So this is going to be a Lugia version of Plasma.
We just saw Sammy shuffling, saw a Tool Scrapper. You know, that's going to be huge in this matchup.
Very important. Lugia saw its way into the final match of the Masters Finals. It's a really great card in Plasma. You can do a lot of cool things. A lot of the way the game flow. Sometimes you just need 3 prizes right off the bat. Yeah. And even knocking out a normal Pokemon for 2 prizes can really set the tides in your favor.
Yeah, Lugia is certainly an awesome Pokemon.
Yep. So here we go. We're just shuffling up, waiting for the players to start. And, yeah, this is going to be a pretty good matchup.
For sure.
So here we go. We're just kind of waiting. But while we wait for the round to start, Max Potion.
Wow. That could be an interesting tech in his deck.
This is going to be a cool matchup.
Sammy really teched his deck out for this one.
So while we wait for the players to start, let's get back to who our predictions are to move on to win their match. So we both picked Igor. So let's go on to the Fire Pod. There we have Jwittz versus Jay Horniman.
Jay Horniman, certainly a powerhouse in the competitive scene. He has a billion championship points by this point. I know he played all year, and he certainly duked it out with the best of everybody. Jwittz been a little lax this year. I don't think he's played in very many tournaments. He was a commentator for the World Championship, so he certainly knows what the cards do. He knows his stuff. He knows his matchups, and I like Jwittz here. I think he's come to show that he's not an old guy. He's not out of it yet. Yeah. He's thick and thin. He's going to be here, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament.
Yeah, I think Josh, we were talking to him before this tournament started, and he really wanted to play in it. He's pretty excited about it. And Jay, this is Mr. almost 1,000 championship points. Yeah. He basically had 2 invites.
There were a few people with those.
Yeah, it was, for some reason, it was just a competition between them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, who would you pick? Would you pick Josh or Jay?
I picked Jwittz.
You pick Jwittz?
Yeah.
My heart is telling me pick Josh, but my brain is telling me Jay, so I'm going to go with my brain.
All right, we'll see.
All right. So the last match we have for this round is Jason Klaczynski versus Edmund Kuris.
Interesting matchup. What do you think?
Oh, God. It might really just come down to what Edmund plays.
This is true.
Because I think,
personally, I'm taking Edmund here. Jason just got off of a ton of Pokemon. Sure, he hasn't had to play that many matches today, but he's got to be relieved to be world champion, and certainly the matches are going to seem less intense than the finals of Worlds.
Yeah, Jason, I'm going to go that he's been running hot all week, and I'm going to say he hasn't stopped yet. So here we go. Yamato versus Sekkoum.
Yamato's going to start with Keldeo here. Not the best choice, not the best Pokemon to have to start with in Darkrai, but is that a Tropical Beach in Yamato's hand?
Yeah, sometimes there's not a lot of good turn 1 plays. So having that Tropical Beach can really help you out. You're not really trying to go for a turn 2, turn 3 Night Spear. You're really just much slower. I'm going to grind you out of the game type of deal.
Yeah,
so Tropical Beach is very good here.
It's very interesting to me, in Yamato's deck. He's probably got to play Sableye in here, and you kind of always want to do that turn 1, but Tropical Beach probably gives a nice assurance to any hand that he doesn't get stuck.
Right. Sometimes you don't have the supporter. If you don't have random receiver, Tropical Beach is a good insurance card.
Right.
So he did run Keldeo, and a lot of people may be going, well, you're running Garbodor. Why are you running Keldeo? So the reason for this would be Gothitelle. This deck has major problems with this Gothitelle Tool Scrapper. So with Keldeo, and you kind of go back to a standard Darkrai deck, and maybe you can win a game that way.
Yeah, you can do the same kind of thing. It's a matchup-based card. You certainly don't want to use it in every matchup, but you certainly do want to use it in some of them.
Yeah. So Sammy here, kind of planning out his turn. He has his lone basic, and
I think the matches are about to begin.
Yep, here we're going to go soon, and, well, we're just waiting on the go. So, we're trying to sync them all up.
Both players, I know they're ready to get started.
Yeah, this is a very friendly atmosphere. We have a bunch of, smaller judges.
Yeah. We're set up here in the free play area at Worlds, and there's a nice crowd.
All right. So we're about to start, and here, when the players get the signal, we will begin.
Oh man, I'm excited. This is it. We've been waiting all year for this.
I wonder do you know who's going first?
I do not, but find out soon enough.
All right. Sounds good. So let's look. So we can kind of take a peek at Sammy's hand since he's. Oh, okay. So never mind. We actually do have a slight delay. Jason opted to not play Darkrai for 100% sure. He's actually
still selecting his deck at the table.
Yeah. For those of you who...
This is what happens when you don't have deck lists.
Yeah. For those of you who know Jason...
All right, here we go.
Here we go. It looks like Jason may have selected. So
Sammy's first. He's going to start with Deoxys. Certainly not the best starter. But I think Yamato here is a little bit worse off with his Keldeo start.
Oh, most definitely. I think against anything not Gothitelle, you really don't want that Keldeo.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a few cases, but yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh. So Sammy had to attach a plasma energy to Deoxys and just pass his turn. And there was some confusion there. Yamato didn't believe that it was that easy, but looks like he's going to have a pretty sweet advantage here over Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy kind of playing a little bit of a trick on Yamato. He's like, no, wait, it's not your turn. Haha, just kidding, it is.
So we do see a Juniper in Yamato's hand. I don't think we'll see that Tropical Beach go down.
No, you definitely don't want to help your opponent out. But does Yamato have a supporter in his hand?
Yeah, he has a Juniper.
So there we go. With this Ultra Ball, you might want to grab Trubbish.
Yeah, Trubbish would be good here, or Sableye, or Darkrai. Not exactly my area of expertise.
So he has 2 Float Zones in his hand.
Yeah, we see a Max Potion in Yamato's deck. That's a cool one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very good card with Sableye. You just heal it off. As long as they don't hit you for 70, you can kind of get around anything. So I think he's going to go for either a Trubbish or he goes for Darkrai. That's interesting.
Yamato's got to be thinking, Sammy doesn't have anything. If I just early aggression with Darkrai, maybe he win the game quickly.
That is true. The only thing Garbodor does turn off, in fact, is Keldeo's and Deoxys. If Sammy simply just doesn't play him down, then it's not really a big deal. Garbodor doesn't actually do much.
Right. Darkrai, that Keldeo can free retreat as quickly as possible into the Darkrai as soon as it powers up. So he goes with Darkrai here. He's going to have a pretty sweet turn 1. He's going to get an energy down. He's going to Dark Patch at least once. We do see a Float Stone here.
Yep. And there it is. Juniper, and it's smart. He discards the extra Float Stone. Right. This is so if he has a Sableye, he can junk hunt the Float Stone and something else back.
Yep. And with that Float Stone on the Keldeo, Darkrai's ability is almost doesn't matter anymore. He can freely get out a Garbodor here without being afraid of getting locked into position.
So we have an interesting development here. Yamato is going to have a turn 2 Night Spear next turn.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Personally, if I was Yamato, I would have pulled a Jason Glazinski, just attach another energy and went on the aggression right away.
Well, I guess this was a little too late now, but 2-time world champion, 2-time energy attacher. But what a cool poison counter!
Yeah, it's neat. Keldeo is asleep. Sammy does have to just pass again, which is unfortunate. And Keldeo stays asleep. Wow.
This could be big. There's an N. There is no way Yamato is playing that card. He's probably just going to...
An interesting Yamato could have done. Could have retreated Keldeo for Darkrai. And then next turn, he can just rush in and he won't get stuck active.
Yeah, it's really weird. Sometimes, because how random Plasma can pop out energies and attackers, if, say, Sammy draws well, then that Darkrai is suddenly taking 30 damage. Maybe a Verbank Laser hits it, and then it's suddenly in Blizzard Burn range.
Well, Yamato's not going to do much in his turn. He's going to bench a Darkrai, attach an energy, and just pass. Keldeo does stay asleep, so The damage is racking up. Sammy's still in trouble, but looks like Yamato's finally going to be able to attack.
Only taking 3 damage thanks to no Verbank in play.
Yeah.
So Yamato is going to be in great shape here. He's going to Night Spear, and Sammy is on a 1-turn clock.
Oh, yeah, Sammy's in big trouble
it's
here.
It's literally...
You have 1 card to draw or you lose the game.
Yes, it is right here. Does Sammy do it? And
is that an N?
It might have been. Yes, it is an N.
Oh.
You know, this is weird.
Sammy's saved by the skin of his teeth here.
It's funny. The supporter always comes on the last possible moment. Like,
Does it? Mine always comes after the last possible moment.
Well, that's just unfortunate.
Maybe I should play more than 2.
Maybe it's star power.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
What a hand for Sammy. Really showing off his bling there, though.
Yeah, his deck is very shiny, but, you know, maybe it's like a star power because, like, or hidden talent that a lot of players, just like on the last possible turn, they might have a dead hand, and then
hidden talent.
Yeah,
for sure.
They just draw a supporter, and it saves them.
Okay, what do you think Sammy wants to get here? Keldeo, Water, Colress Machine? Would that put him in a better position? Or do you want the Prism here to just go on the offensive?
It's very difficult to say. Maybe a Thunderous and some energies in the discard would be best.
You know, I think he'll take anything to stay alive at this point.
Yeah. So he gets a Colress Machine and an Absol. This is a really... It's a good card, but it's not going to, like, win him the game.
Yeah. Certainly with Yamato only having 2 bench Pokemon, that Absol isn't going to be any surprise, and Sammy's forced to play it down early, so Yamato's going to limit his bench.
So Sammy opts to give Yamato 2 prizes here, and this is because he knows Deoxys isn't going to win him the game. He knows that, hey, maybe you'll take 2 prizes, and then I can end you down to 4, and you down to 3 later. And
you know, Yamato,
this will be my path to a comeback.
Yeah, that's true. Catcher this turn would be pretty devastating for Sammy, but looks like Yamato's not going to go for it. You could simply Catcher the Absol, knock it out, and put 30 away on Deoxys.
But then you have to ask yourself, what's more dangerous, Absol or Deoxys?
This is true.
If you let a Absol do damage, then you can kind of manipulate how much damage an Absol does.
Right.
But with Deoxys, he hits the Dark Rise for 100.
Yep. So Yamato's going to go up 2 prizes here. Sammy has almost no board position, so Yamato's going to be way ahead. And Sammy's going to play an N, putting Yamato down to just 4 cards. Sammy's going to get a fresh 6. And I think for Sammy, he's thinking the comeback is on.
And this is really what we were talking about. Like, hey, I'm going to give up with the Deoxys.
Right.
And then I'm going to play N. And Sammy's really just hoping that maybe the N will give Yamato a couple bad cards, a couple cards that may slow him down a little bit, and gives Sammy some time to recover and really build up some momentum.
Right.
So
Sammy's definitely looking for some energy here, maybe a Prism to get some damage on that Dark guy. He certainly doesn't want to get knocked out too quickly. A Lightning for his Thunderous would be good too.
Yeah, I really think a Lightning is pretty big here. That or a Prism. You might want to start attacking with Absol, just kind of give up another prize if you have another N. It's really a tough spot. A Tool Scrapper is actually really big here for Sammy if he can get it.
Definitely.
So we do see a Float Stone in Sammy's hand. If he had a Keldeo, that'd be pretty solid. But we're seeing the DCEs actually clunk up the energy line for Sammy here a little bit.
Right. Who knows? That could be a blend. He could be attacking with Thunderous this turn, but instead he's way far behind here, and he's going to need a lot because he's not going to be able to attack this turn.
Yeah. You know, the DCEs, what you cut for them, because normally people play blends and, 4 Prism, 4 Blend, 4 Plasma, and maybe a basic energy, maybe a blend for a basic energy.
Right.
But with the DCEs, you typically run 0 basic energies, and maybe that DCE could have been a blend energy. Who knows? Mm-hmm. If Sammy's only running 13 energy, and 2 of them have to be DCEs, then that was most certainly a blend energy.
Right. Sammy here, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything this turn except pass. But if there's one thing that I know about Lugia is that the comebacks are all real. It can happen from out of almost anywhere.
Right. Sammy has 3 prizes that Yamato can't take. But if he plays the Lugia down, gets like a Raiden Knuckle on a Darkrai, gets another Raiden Knuckle on the other Darkrai or something along those lines, and then 6 prizes later with 2 Plasma Gales, then it'll be great.
Oh, yeah. He's even fine if he takes out the first Darkrai with just 1 Raiden Knuckle and then Plasma Gales for the knockout. Sure, maybe he won't be able to get 3 prizes on the second Darkrai.
So we saw Sammy kind of motion at a little error that happened in Jason Klaczynski's top 8 game. It was a little funny.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, why not? But, yeah, basically, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but we'll get into what's going on here first. So,
okay, we're going to see an attack from Yamato. It's going to put Thunders to 110 damage. No laser Verbank to put it at the very close to death, 140 damage. But Sammy's not in much of a better position than he was before.
So Skyla here, what do you get? Laser? He gets laser. He's really just going for a big bike turn. He's going to dump his hand, play bicycle, hopefully hit a energy for a Raiden Knuckle and another Pokemon he can use. He gets the Keldeo, and he's really just going for the laser flip.
Wow, I don't think he's going to have an energy for Raiden Knuckle here. I think he's trying to keep Keldeo asleep and stall for another turn.
It really just depends what's off the spike.
Right.
Ooh, is that a Tool Scrapper?
Might be. There's a Verbank, extra damage.
What?
I actually realized about Sammy? He only really has to attack twice with Plasma Gale. He could have Raiden Knuckled a Darkrai and then Plasma Gale on Darkrai and Keldeo.
Yes.
So the Lugia, giving him lots of comeback potential here.
It's going to be very difficult, but
yeah, Yamato
there is a way.
Stay asleep, so he's just going to be able to retreat and keep attacking Sammy. Sammy is down to almost nothing here.
Right. So Ultra Ball probably going to get rid of that N. Yeah. And this is really like a cool thing about Darkrai Garbodor is that it can really just switch gears. Sometimes it's a very controlled deck, and sometimes it can just switch gears into a very aggressive deck, like we're seeing here.
Yeah, this game we've seen a very quick start by Yamato, turn 2 Night Spear, lots of aggression, just taking a big advantage of Sammy's lack of supporters and energies and plasma Pokemon. It looks like Sammy is still in this game by just 10 HP here.
All right, so here we go. This is Sammy's big game plan. A giant N.
Yeah.
Yamato's deck is actually very big right now. He hasn't gone through many cards. This N could stick.
Right.
So it really just depends on how well Sammy draws off this N.
Definitely. I don't know how many Colress machines Sammy plays, but if he has 2 left, I think he's still pretty much in the game.
Yeah. There's 2 Plasma Energies left in the deck.
Yep.
So this is very winnable if he had a Pokemon, but he does not. And
he has consolation here by Sammy. He just didn't have anything.
Yep, he doesn't have what he needs, doesn't really draw what he needs, and unfortunately for him, ends up losing the game because of it. So Tsuguyoshi Yamato wins the round versus Sami Sekkoum.
Yep, and unfortunately we don't have a best 2 out of 3 for you here, but we have a lot of great games for you.
Yeah, we have the series is all best of 1s, and then after that we take the top 2 players from each pod, and we move them into a top 4 round. After that, it becomes single elimination with the top 4, and it is that's the tournament format. We've kind of been running this format for both years now, and
the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's been pretty successful. So,
and we, just like I said, we see my boy Yamato taking home the win. Sure, didn't have to do much to get there, but a win nonetheless.
True. Sammy kind of throwing me a curveball with his deck choice there.
Yeah, I saw him practicing with Darkrai just before the tournament started, and then he was informed Jason Klaczynski was playing in the tournament, so he decided to switch. Why he decided to switch to Plasma, I'm not sure.
Maybe he just wanted to use Plasma Gale.
Yeah, definitely my favorite attack in the format.
It's very strong. I thought your favorite attack was Junk Hunt.
No way.
No.
Junk Hunt doesn't do any damage.
That's true, but it
Can't
doesn't
knock anything out with Junk Hunt.
That is incorrect. You can knock out a lot of things with Junk Hunt.
No, you can't.
Laser Junk Hunt.
Indirectly. Excuse me.
Yeah, hey man, it's that's where it's at. Lasers, catchers, and Junk Hunts with enhanced hammers. It's very good. It won the world championship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we go. We have one round down. We're gonna see how the other ones are.
I know we're gonna have a lot more better games in the next rounds. That one was kind of a roll, but still great to see these players playing nonetheless. The round is still going on for the other players as the games wasn't that one-sided for the other players, and we're going to take a quick break here. The round will be over shortly. We'll have another awesome game for you in round 2.
See you then.